Hey, Jason from TechAU, and I'm sitting in the brand new Tesla Model 3 refresh for 2024. I'm here in Mulgrave picking it up at the delivery center where some very happy customers are taking delivery of their own vehicle. But today I'm picking up this media vehicle. I'll have it for the next week or so and really dive into what's changed. Obviously I've got a backdrop of having a 2019 Tesla Model 3 Performance. My wife has a Model Y from 2022, and there's just been a ton of upgrades to this vehicle. But this week I get to test it, get hands-on, really experience things like Smart Shift for the first time and see how well it works. You know, is the theory that it's going to detect the environment around you accurately and automatically select the direction that you should go. We're going to test that out. We're going to test out the cooled seats in an Australian hot summer is going to be something very interesting to test as well. There's a new sort of interior styling, the LED lights. There's a whole lot of features in this thing, as well as the exterior upgrades. They're nice to have, but the feeling and the way the car is to drive is really important to me. And I think chief to that is really going to be the steering wheel without any stalks. So it's going to be a fun week, an interesting week. If you've got any thoughts, opinions, questions, let me know, but you can read all about it at TechAU. All right, let's go for a drive. So first of all, we're in the blue Model 3 standard range. You can see this arc they've obviously color coordinated it for this media vehicle, which is great. So blue RGB strip, and then the blue exterior paint just looks great. So what I'm going to do now is basically just put my foot on the brake and let it decide which direction it wants to go, and hopefully it's going to decide forward because there is another Tesla behind us. All right, so here's Smart Shift. Press and hold brake, choose direction on the screen. So it should choose that for me, I would have thought. Nope, it's going to make me choose. Okay, interesting. Let's go. All sorts of weird sounds because we're on a concrete polished floor. Just get my seat sorted. Man, that red is nice. And it straight away went for the indicator stalk, which is now on the... Oh, okay, slow down. That was a bit crazy. Now on the steering wheel, which I'm going to have to get used to. So that'll be another sort of experiment. But I'm hoping it's like many other changes really, that you give it a couple of hours, a couple of days, and it's sort of second nature. Now I'm just going to pull off to the side here, plop in a destination. Alright, so we're going to do this again. Brake, and it doesn't auto select a park. Maybe there's a setting that we've got to do this. Just tap to put it in park. Pedals and steering. Let's do steering mode as sport. Bingo, there is. Auto shift out of park. Let's read this disclaimer. When parked, it will automatically select drive or reverse. If doors are closed, the driver's seat belt's buckled or the brake is pressed. So I guess it's still up to you to check with your passengers are buckled, but that's pretty normal. So auto shift out of park feature is in beta. The gear is chosen based on the trajectory that was taken into your current parking location. So it's got like a bit of a memory, but I think it would still do a check of around the car. So as well as the information from the sensors and the current environment. Bingo. So if things have moved since you parked, that makes sense. Always check to confirm the gear chosen matches expectations before you, naturally, or things could go poorly. That's exactly what we're going to test, is how accurate is this and can we rely on it. Auto shift out of park will only shift gears when transitioning out of park. Shifting between forward and reverse you've got to do manually, and then you can use the slider on the side. Before enabling the feature, ensure that you're familiar with the operations. Yeah, we got it. So it's still in beta like any of the others. Cool. All right, so this is a feature that I definitely don't have in my existing Model 3, so it's great to be able to test it in this review vehicle. So tap to activate drive, tap to activate drive, tap the brake is what it's telling me. Okay, so it's selected forward, and we get this up arrow that tells us this. Oh, high fidelity park. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, I had completely, this had skipped my mind that this is what I was going to also be able to test. All right, lots more on that. So basically this is completely different. I don't get anywhere like this visualization of what's around me, and this only works basically when you're parking at slow speeds. Then it will go away back to the normal visualization, but very cool. All right, so that has worked, and we're going to go indicator and check our path over here, and then we're good to go. Back on. And while I can see this camera, I am actually checking, just because of the angle and because this is not my car, I'm checking that it's clear, and it is. Let's go. Alright, cool. Better turn that off. So I'm hoping that Autopilot is calibrated, and then this takes me to the new button. Maybe? Oh, that's weird. Huh. So you're driving along, wait till Autopilot's off it, and then just tap the button. Which has always been, for me, it's always been stalk down. So originally started as 2 stalks down, and then more recently we got the single stalk to activate Autopilot option, which I have fully embraced and am single stalk everywhere. But yeah, this button to activate is interesting. Cool, new Model 3, love it. That was still pretty performance too, to be honest, for not a long range, not a performance. Still a fair bit of pickup, which was nice. There's storage bins and stuff, they're all different. This storage down here is got no magnetic thing or physical clip anymore, but yeah, it's all good. So,
in 200 meters, turn left onto M3R Gully Road.
And in my brain, what I'm gonna have to do is understand which one of these is left and right.
Now turn left onto M3R Gully Road.
Okay. Which I suspect after just a few times I'm gonna get that. Bottom is left, top is right. Regen is amazing.
In 200 meters, bear left towards Monash Freeway NBND. Now bear left towards Monash Freeway NBND.
Right. 70, 60. Drops back to 60. Interesting. Yeah. I gotta work out this autopilot thing. That's really weird. So it's not actually a button. They are touch buttons. Okay. That one's a touch button for the camera. And then autopilot is what? Nothing? That's really weird. Interesting. Alright, we're going manual for a little bit. I know everybody raves over this new camera quality. I guess it is. It's not like the leap that I was imagining it to be. Anyway, 1 vehicle per green each lane. Drag time. And go. See ya. Cancelling is going to take me a bit to get used to as well.
300 meters, keep right to stay on M1 towards Chadstone.
Let's go 100, eh? Okay, so that's just doing cruise control. Is it double tap for
Now
it?
keep right to stay on M1.
This must be a setting. Where's my autopilot?
meters,
Gotta
keep
stop
right
and
to stay
enable
on M1 towards Chadstone City.
And I missed it already. Okay, let's go.
Now keep right to stay on M1. In 2 kilometers, keep right to stay on M1.
Oh, it's nice. It's nice and quiet. One of the things they did was increase the, their efforts to reduce the cabin noise, and that's certainly been effective. It's not like my Model 3 is loud. I mean, obviously it doesn't have the engine and exhaust and that sort of stuff, those noises, but wind noise is probably, the biggest. And then depending on the surface of the road, you can get a lot of friction from the tyres as well. But man, this is next level quiet. Why is that important? Probably just, certainly better acoustics for your music and that kind of thing. I think often I try and override the internal noise with music. I do love to listen to podcasts and music while I'm driving. But yeah, generally conversations is probably the reason you want a quiet cabin. People in the back, a better conversation with them. But yeah, if you're spending most of the time on your own, it's probably not going to move the needle too much for you. It's not like you get a choice, right? This is just going to be what you buy now. Okay, it's gone down to 80, and for some reason we're doing 50, so let's bail on that.
Now keep right to stay on M1.
Cool. So, I'd really like to stop somewhere, and I can keep reminding myself I'm going to steer for the minute. Okay, so 60 here, and this goes on for a bit. It's probably not a good opportunity to get off this for a while. That would have been a good spot. Although get it 30. Okay, so save my cruise is just press and hold that. No. Actually, I have to disengage. Wow, that sucks. I guess just use scroll wheel. So with the stalk,
In 300 meters, keep right to stay on M1 towards City.
Got it. So with the stalks, if the speed zone signs don't get detected correctly, and you want to drop your max speed to the speed zone, you can basically you just press and hold down on.
Stay on M1.
Press and hold down on the right stalk, and it will set the speed to whatever the current speed zone is. So yeah, I don't know how to do that on this one, but anyway, we'll find out. Could nearly pull to the inside shoulder, stop and turn on the Autosteer. How should I do that? The shoulder just got heaps narrower. It was awesome back there. Back up to 100 now. And now I lost my shoulder completely. Okay, I missed my spot. Alright, so with cruise, all you do is basically disengage and re-engage to get it back to the the standard current speed zone. So if I'm going to stop, I need to really get it out of the flame there. The good thing about today, no rush to get home. I can basically take my time to cruise down the Hume, get back to Wodonga. I do love that it's like auto turning off when you get to your new lane. That's a big help. It's one less input you need to do into the steering wheel, and less inputs the better, right? I love how the truck's there and then it's not there and it's there and it's not there. I think beta will solve that when we finally get FSD beta. Okay, oh man's got his hazards on, that's amazing. Yeah, his load is definitely not secure. This is going to end poorly for everybody. Hey, we made to the left lane. So the car is currently not in my profile, and so I couldn't do the cloud sync.
Keep right to stay on M1 towards CityLink.
Thank you. Yeah, so the car is currently not in my Tesla profile, so I couldn't do the cloud sync on my profile. So effectively I'm setting it up again from scratch. So that means mirror position, seat position, heating, cooling preferences, all that kind of stuff. In the driver profile, I just got to build that manually again on this. It's one of the nicer features about having a couple of Teslas in the garage is you can jump in one car and your preferences come with you, and jump in the other one, same thing. Obviously with the Tesla key on the phone, you don't need keys anymore, you just get in and drive basically. And with the smart shift, in theory, that just takes away another thing you have to think about. You just get in and drive. So yeah, can't wait. Can't wait. I imagine that they will add the car to my driver profile. I could be wrong. I was due to pick it up at 12 and I was a little early, so maybe it's related to that. 60. Alright, so we got Burke Road. Should I take Burke Road? Maybe. No, that lane is closed. 40? Yeah, right. What's that? No, screw it. I'm taking Burke Road and getting the hell out of here. Yeah, right, mate.
Now keep right to stay on M1.
Oh, like behind me, I wasn't paying attention. So I just got to find a side street or something to get out of here. Turn it on and jump back on the freeway. Easier said than done. Actually, there are parks over there if I can get across. That'd be a nice place to do it. One comes up beside me, I'm going for the double lane move. Red. Oh, damn it. Someone beside me now. Alright, there goes that plan. I'm just going straight up here and turn right. I think this is when, you know, when you're doing fast maneuvers, I think that's where it's really going to test
now make a right U-turn at Melbourne Road.
This change, like when things are all kind of relaxed and you're in your, you know, when you're in a less challenging environment, I think all this change in terms of the indicators and no stalks and that kind of thing, shift selection, all that's going to work fine. But if you know, in the middle of traffic and you're trying to do a 3-point turn and you're a bit rushed and the blood pressure's up, I think that's when things has the potential at least to go poorly. So I'm hoping somewhere over here there is a spot we can stop.
Now turn left onto Scott Grove.
Autosteer, yes. Anything else we want to change? Full collision. Okay, there's the lights. Pretty. We'll play more with that later. Accent lights, turn lights for well. Display. I like dark mode. Let's do dark mode. Automatic blind spot cameras will show. Yep, cool. Lock rear display. Ah, interesting. So more stuff that we don't have because this one's got a rear display. Scroll function. Okay. Yeah, right. And then just in terms of the cool seats are on. Yes. Yes. No. Rear. Cool. Heat. Cool. Ah. Okay. Now they're gonna come on. Oh, this one is anyway. Oh, we've got boombox as well. Oh, so many cool things to try out. Rear display. Ah, and you can see a visual. Oh, this is so nice. Alright, that's for another time. Oh, that cool seat thing just happened immediately. Let's chill on that a little bit. Probably need that. Okay, so if I get off the brake and then tap, I'm going to activate reverse. So, another success for Smart Shift. That is very cool. Stop, and then we're going to go, hey, now I need to go forward, get out. Look at that. Works like magic. And then now the test is, can we do autopilot by pressing the right scroll wheel? Oh, that's voice apparently. Okay. That's better. Wait. Okay, well, I've got Rainbow Road anyway. That wasn't my intention, but autopilot is on. I think there's still going to be somewhere.
In 300 metres,
40,
turn right onto Wodonga Road.
I think we're going to do the single double thing somewhere, is my theory. Is why this is a bit weird. So it's still cruise. Double. Okay, I'm not. This is not particularly intuitive for someone who's used it before.
Onto Wodonga Road.
Alright, so let's deal with that first, and then I can do double and it turns on rainbow. Can somebody do a setting? Zoom around here. Okay. Guys doing U-turn in front of us. Yep, nice. Let's just pull off here for a second. Sorry, people. Just need to check something. Autopilot. Single, double. Doesn't seem to be that option. Single click. Yes, there is. Perfect. That was just Jason being silly. Right. And so now it thinks that I can just drive. Actually, I didn't go to park. So now let's test it again. Yep, it does think that we can go straight, which is interesting because naturally I probably would have reversed a little bit, but I actually think it's correct. It's got space that I can get out of here and into the lane of traffic, which basically gives us a chance to turn around. That's cool. Okay, watch for food delivery bikes. So Smart Shift, you got it again. Right. I don't know if it's the Rainbow Road, someone just turned that thing on. Let's turn it off in the toy store in a minute, but yeah, so one push to activate, and obviously they don't have FSD enabled on this car because that is the traffic light and stop sign. Rainbow Road. Always Rainbow Road. Turn that sucker off. Alright, we've got a train coming up, so we've got a bit of time. So, park, I guess. Put on the brake, park. And just brake to drive. Yep, got it again. Super cool. Car going past. past is interesting. It's very ghosty. So unfortunately I'm not close enough. I wish I was at the next set of lights, because then I would be able to see yeah, how a tram would get rendered in this new high fidelity park assist view. Anyways, we'll do that later. It is very clear like which direction you're going to be going in, so that's good that they've done that. There's no sort of surprises, I think. Very obvious. Suspension's nice. There's another Tesla. Still at this stage probably haven't grasped exactly, you know, lower one is left, if that makes sense. Just naturally where your hand sits is kind of on the right. Anyway.
In 200 metres, turn left onto Torak Road.
Torak Road. Alright. Autopilot back on. You can do the driving from here. Now, we don't go straight to high fidelity. The initial move off the line there was fine, but then it didn't accelerate away, so I gave it a bit of gas. This is us.
Now turn left onto Torak Road.
So one thing that puzzles me is why we don't have auto indicator, right? If you're following the route, it should be able to reliably do that for you. And sure, if you go in a different direction and you don't follow the route, then it should stop that indicator. But that would seem like an obvious thing to do and be one less input from the driver. That was slick. Nice little bit of left and right there. Get over here for this preparation for the on-ramp. Both lanes can turn right, so we'll do that. Love it. Love it so far. This is good. The drink holder too is much better. They've really solved that, you know, skinnier drink bottles flying around in there. It's much better. Another opportunity for a drag race. Three, two, one, let's go. Yeah, I definitely missed the performance there. Like, it's certainly faster than other cars, but yeah, it's no performance. Like, the performance model is just a silly level of performance, really. Silly, 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 but stupid fun. And as we know now, the Model 3 performance refresh is on the way. So that's, we don't know when, but we've seen the official videos being shot, so it can't be too far away. So cruising at 80, grab that detection properly, which is good. The obvious choice for camera is from the steering wheel. I don't know why I just pushed it over there, but there's also an option. Bright sunny day, we've got some wipers there, that's always fun. Alright, so now we've had, yeah, now we're in like a perfect position. Always just takes a little bit when you get into a car to sort of really get it dialed in. You know, you initially sit in there and think, oh yeah, that's okay, but you know, like this, a few minutes down the road, you kind of need to tweak and adjust. But I'm feeling good now about how the sitting position is. It's always funny to me that cars around you have almost no idea that you're,
right to stay on M1 towards Westgate Bridge.
You know, they're using autopilot, right? I mean, someone who's paying attention knows their stuff, would know, you know, the car hanging in the middle of the lane really is the... Okay. No, we're just going to speed. Yeah, good on you, buddy. Wow, he's on a mission. Interesting they don't put FSD on these review vehicles. I'm already missing it. The auto lane change, definitely worth the price of admission for at least enhanced autopilot. And then yeah, traffic aware cruise control. I mean the stoplight traffic control, I think is what it's called. So just on the lane change back there, I am really missing auto lane change. So coming from a car that has FSD and even EAP, it's definitely a different experience when you've got to disengage and then re-engage. That's pretty annoying if you're doing a lot of it, which in this city traffic and changing lanes you definitely would be. And over the course of the next 3 hours or whatever I've got to drive home, then yeah, I'll be doing quite a bit of it as well. Definitely a first world problem. So now we've got all that configured, it is just really a lot more of sit here and let the car do its thing. Watch out for idiot drivers that try and drive into you, basically. Who don't have autopilot and can't stay in their own lane. Man, what a world it would be when everybody has autopilot. Look at this. My goodness, you guys want to crash. So that was a Ranger trying to get into a fast lane and a truck trying to get into this lane, and that all came together at once. Not good. Not good. Anyway, crisis averted. Let's get over this one. And I can tell already, I'm getting super used to these indicator controls on the steering wheel. I think by the end of this drive, it's going to be second nature. I'm just going to put the windows down for a second so you can hear the actual noise from the outside or in this tunnel. And the windows up. So this is windows down. I don't know if you can hear me because of the actual noise in the tunnel. It's quite severe. We put the windows back up and the passenger side up. And then this is me talking at the same volume, and that is just such a such a big difference. In tunnels specifically, just the sound echoes in a way that you don't really get anywhere else. And yeah, hopefully that comes through on the audio. It's a very big difference. Go go for the right indicator stalk there for autopilot, so definitely not embedded in my brain just yet, but getting closer. We are only 20 minutes into the drive, so that felt pretty natural. I think I'm getting used to it now. The wheel itself feels pretty hard, to be honest. I guess I'll do a direct, you know, not side by side, but one after the other kind of experience. But yeah, it feels very hard compared to mine, which was original leather, and then my wife's, which is a vegan leather. I mean, I like the design of it, but yeah, it is just to hold. Might even be a little wider, to be honest. It's kind of in line with my shoulders, which is a nice fit. So we'll measure the diameter as well. Alright, so I just got back in the car after lunch and we're going to try another smart shift and see how it goes. So foot on the brake and it's selected drive forward. There is actually nobody behind us, so that was an option as well, but to exit this car park, that is actually the most logical route out. That's what I would probably choose to. So I'm going to just press and drive. There we go. Excellent. I feel like I've got a pretty good hold on these blinkers now with the buttons on the steering wheel, and I've really only been driving for a little over an hour.
Now take the Metropolitan Greenfield exit on the left.
Let's do this. No red signal. Let's go then. 200. Nice. Autopilot on. Drive us home, please. Okay, so what we're going to test now is how long we can have our hands off the wheel without autopilot alerting us, flashing the red or blue and then a red alerts if we didn't take over. So we just jump into this other lane. Autopilot goes on, I'm holding torque into the wheel, I'll hit my stopwatch and we're off. So taking my hands off the wheel, this is all doing it itself. I am looking at the front window, and so the interior camera will be monitoring my head movements. I am wearing sunglasses, so I can't monitor my eyes, but it is monitoring my head movements. And currently at 20 seconds. 25 and 30. Previously my best was around 45 seconds on my Model 3 Performance. We are at 40 seconds and 45 and 50. So we're well past what I normally achieve. 55 and 60. Still monitoring the environment around me, and we're all good. It's 105. A minute 10. This is awesome. Minute 15. Minute 20. Minute 25. Minute 30. 1.5 minutes without touching the steering wheel. That's awesome. 40. I assume there's an end to this. It's going to pull me up at some stage. Minute 50. We're going to go 2 minutes. Holy crap. This is awesome. 2 minutes without touching the wheel or pedals. This is so good. 2 minutes 10. Okay, now we got it. All right, 2 minutes 10. What the hell? I've never been able to achieve anything close to that in my car. As I said, like 45 seconds. But 2 minutes and 10 without touching the wheel or pedals. Man, I know this isn't self-driving, but man, that's getting pretty bloody close in this environment. That's easy road, well marked, highway, I get it, but that was like watching a movie for a couple of minutes. That was very cool. You can see the two cars in there. How good is that? Oh, that's sick. That is unreal. That is so good. I've just finished my first drive in the Refresh Model 3. Driven it back from Melbourne all the way to Wodonga. And I have to say, first impressions, very, very good. The cool things, the difference in this car compared to my existing Model 3 Performance, definitely this steering wheel and not having any stalks, super different. But really, 20 minutes in, 30 minutes in, I really started to get comfortable using the indicators here, and then Autopilot over here as well. So that maybe took a little bit longer, and had to dive into the settings to make sure it was all on single button press to enable auto steer. But yeah, the cooled seats, there's a ventilator now on a hot summer day is definitely appreciated for sure. What else can I tell you? Oh, so this is the standard range model, and I've just got home. So as I said, Melbourne to Wodonga, 350 something Ks, still 16% of the battery left, which is clearly quite fine. And I didn't stop and charge at all on the way. I stopped a couple of times, grabbed some food and drink and bathroom. But like, if you're worried about the range of EVs, clearly a trip like that is probably as long as you want to do between charges. Not a problem at all. And there's a long range version, so if you do have longer demands than that, get the long range version. You'll even be have a bit more range. But I think on a whole, very cool upgrades. I'll spend some more time with it. There's so much new and different here in really what is 5 years since I got my Tesla. It's kind of, I'm going to make a list of all the new things, all the changes, because one by one they're just adding them up. And this RGB lighting that runs around here, like obviously that's a big one, but just even the door release button and things like that. Just there's 1,000 of these little things that just add up to be, sure, it's still called a Model 3, but it's like a very different car than it was. And the high fidelity park assist. So if I put this into reverse, it goes into this mode. This is easily one of the coolest things. Now, I put up my garage door, and prior to that it was just a flat wall where the garage door was, and then when the garage door went up, I can now see the two vehicles inside there. That is very, very cool stuff. So it's using the camera's computer vision to see around the vehicle. And then Smart Shift was the other thing I wanted to touch on. So when you get in the car, put your belt on, it basically will auto detect which way it needs to go. You can see here that it's it's auto detecting and wanting to go reverse. The reason for that is it detected something ahead of the car, and so clearly it doesn't want to crash into that. So I am very keen to test it this week, how successful this is. So far we've done this about 5 or 6 times, 100% success rate. And here comes a little kid to ask me about my Tesla. So we'll wrap it up there, guys. Bye. Tap brake to activate, press to drive. So it's automatically selected forward, which is the appropriate option because behind us is a wall, and that looks like that. So it's actually a charging bay, the NRMA charger there in Albury. You can see the poles. Actually, the poles are really interesting. They're even rendering yellow, which is fun. Yeah, right. So then let's go forward. And I think we can go, and this will work up to maybe 10 kilometers an hour. Yep, there we go, 10. This is awesome. Where should we park? Lots of options. Here should do. Now without FSD, we don't get to use auto park, which is a shame. I would have liked to have tested that, but all good. And this is what V4 superchargers look like with high fidelity. Okay, so the yellow of the bollard was not yellow because the bollards were yellow. That was coincidental. It's literally your proximity. And if I go slightly more to it, it's gonna start getting red and angry at me. Yeah, cool. Okay, I love that visualization. That's mad. I don't know that I would rely on it on this alone. I think I'm still leveraging the cameras quite a bit. But maybe if this was full screen and you could get that level of detail combined with the color and the audible alerts, I think maybe you could. Oh, it's time for charge. So the matrix array is like what Audi have had for many years and others, that really creates isolated areas where the lights are not bright and the oncoming traffic won't be blinded by them. So it allows you to sort of have the benefits of high beam, as in you get a good picture of the environment around, make sure there's no skippy on the side coming at you, but doesn't blind the oncoming traffic and you won't get flashed, which is great. So I do need to test that a little bit more. This is day one with the car, but good to see. So we'll try and get that on before the end of the lane line, see what the merge looks like. Cool, no problems at all. Alright, so here's where it's going to go auto high beam, and then maybe this is a chance to capture it. If we have an oncoming car, what it would normally do in my car is turn the high beams off. In this, in theory, it would leave the high beams on and just isolate an area so they're not being blinded. I'm not sure if it does it for like tail lights, so for the car ahead. Yes, it does. Yes. Oh, that was cool. So I hope you can see that on the video, that we've seen the headlights track, and you can see there's almost like a island around the car ahead. So not only is it doing this for the oncoming cars, it's identifying that, you know, your headlights would be really annoying to the car ahead of you. So where those red tail lights are, effectively it's saying, hey, there's a car there, we should mute the high beams around that car. That is very cool. And the ideal test would be that and somebody else coming the other way, and so we could do both at the same time, which I think is about to happen. We are getting ambient light over the head, which might turn it all off. Okay. I can't see, there's too much ambient light, whether it was doing what it's doing, but we're still on high beams. And interesting. Okay, now is the point where I'm going to turn off high beams. And I actually flashed that guy, so sorry. Sorry. But he was also doing something silly in terms of changing lanes, so the flash was actually probably appropriate. Alright. It wants to reverse. You know what? That is the first smart shift that we've got wrong. This is a drive-through, and we need to actually override that and go forward. There we go. I actually wanted one to fail like that, which is good. So it's not perfect. I think we understood that.